There's a reason people wake up before sunrise and drive for hours just to stand in line for meat in Austin, Texas. Today we're exploring the city, the ingredients, and the secret behind its most famous food. Grab a tray, because this story starts right here outside a smokehouse before the doors even open. Austin is home to one of the most obsessed over foods in the entire country, a slow-smoked beef brisket that sells out almost every single day. From East Austin to the shores of Lady Bird Lake, the smell of oak smoke drifts through the city from early morning onward. But here's what surprises most first-time visitors. The lines start hours before anything is even for sale. People show up at 6 in the morning, lawn chairs and coolers in hand, just to guarantee a spot before the brisket runs out. What actually makes Texas brisket different starts with the cut itself. Brisket is a tough, heavily worked muscle from the cow's chest, full of connective tissue that makes it nearly inedible if cooked quickly. The only way to make it tender is time, and Texas pitmasters commit to an enormous amount of it. A single brisket might smoke for 12 to 16 hours straight, resting low and slow over oak or post-oak wood at a carefully controlled temperature. That long smoke breaks down the tough tissue until it becomes almost impossibly tender, while a thick, dark crust forms on the outside, called the bark. Here's the part most people don't expect. The seasoning is almost shockingly simple. Just salt and coarse black pepper, nothing else. Texas pitmasters believe the smoke and the meat itself should do all the talking, with no sauce required to cover anything up. In fact, at some of the most respected barbecue joints in the state, asking for barbecue sauce at all is considered a mild insult to the pitmaster. The wood matters just as much as the meat. Post oak burns slow and steady, producing a mild smoke flavor that builds gradually over the long cook rather than overwhelming the beef. Pitmasters wake before dawn to tend fires that need constant attention, adjusting airflow and adding logs by hand every 20 minutes or so throughout the entire cook. Walk into any respected barbecue joint in Texas and you'll usually see meat served the same simple way. Sliced to order, weighed on a scale, and served on butcher paper instead of a plate. That butcher paper isn't just tradition, it actually helps the meat rest properly without steaming itself soggy the way a covered container would. Some of these barbecue joints trace their history back nearly a century, originally serving as meat markets for local communities before smoking became the main event instead of a side offering. Today, you can see photos of those original meat markets framed inside the modern smokehouses, hanging near the counter like living history. But the story gets even more surprising. Central Texas barbecue actually traces its roots to German and Czech immigrant butchers, not to traditional Southern barbecue traditions at all, which explains why Texas brisket looks so different from barbecue found anywhere else in the South. Walk through East Austin and you'll find smokehouses with legendary reputations, some so popular that meat sells out by early afternoon regardless of how much was smoked that morning. It's the food of tailgates before Longhorns football games and the reward waiting at the end of a long work week downtown. It's eaten off butcher paper at picnic tables, with sides of pickles, onions, and white bread served on the side almost everywhere. You'll see families driving in from surrounding towns specifically for one particular smokehouse's brisket, treating the trip like a genuine pilgrimage. You'll see food trucks and trailers parked along highways, some with lines nearly as long as the most famous restaurants downtown. Even visitors who've never eaten barbecue in their life somehow already know to show up early or risk missing out entirely. Some of the most famous pitmasters in Texas have waiting lists years long for anyone wanting to learn directly from them. Locals will tell you that's not exaggeration. Brisket in Austin has genuinely become something people plan entire trips around. The dish stayed remarkably consistent for decades, even as barbecue styles across the rest of the country constantly changed and modernized. Yet the classic Texas brisket remains exactly what it always was: salt, pepper, smoke, and patience. Nothing more required. It's slow enough to demand real dedication from the pitmaster, yet good enough to justify waking up before sunrise just to taste it. That contradiction, incredible effort producing something deceptively simple, might be the real secret behind brisket's legendary status. Walk along Lady Bird Lake at sunrise, and you'll already see smoke rising from pits preparing for the day's rush. Families load into trucks before dawn, coolers packed, ready for the wait ahead. Locals near East Austin plan entire Saturdays around a single smokehouse visit. Visitors research online for weeks, then follow the smoke straight to the smokehouse everyone recommended. So next time you take a bite of real Texas brisket, remember everything that stands behind it. The 12-hour smoke, the simple seasoning, the German and Czech roots, and generations of pitmasters who never needed anything more than salt, pepper, and thyme. It's a small taste of a state that treats barbecue like a genuine art form. If you enjoyed exploring the story behind Texas brisket, let us know down in the comments below. Tell us which American city and its signature food we should explore together next. Until then, grab a tray, get in line early, and we'll see you on the next story.